If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, share this video. Do not hesitate to leave a comment. Every word counts. Let's change the algorithm. Even all my haters out there, like, share, and subscribe with your hating. Hi, everyone. This is Reverend Rance Dunbar, pastor of Holy Trinity Church of Our Mother and CEO founder of MyFCA Inc. My vaccination exemptions are ironclad. It is our First Amendment right to be exempt from all inoculations. Please call me at the Vaccination Exempt Hotline at 504-220-5473. These exemptions are backed by biblical scripture and holistic ingredients. Do not hesitate to stand up for yourself against inoculation. Hey family, help us make Jesus black again. Visit chakradoctor.org and join the movement today.
Oh yeah, it's for me. Hey, greetings, family. Ooh, family, it's gonna be a good one today. Child, get your pens, get your papers, get your mind right, put on your thinking cap, like they used to say in school, because it is going down. So, let me explain, child. Let me explain. Look at Cooley. Cooley said, tell the chakra doctor I said, what's up? Absolutely, Cooley. Let me tell you something. I had got an inbox on Messenger from a queen named Miss Jelly. And real name Jessica. And she said, hey, the chakra doctor is wanting to sponsor you. He sponsors a lot of people. And so we've been on a call for probably about an hour with this endorsement deal, the third fucking one. Shout out to the chakra doctor. Shout out to A Walk with the Ancestors, because let me tell y'all, spirit is moving. Spirit is on a fucking rise. Spirit is on a go. Yehuda got his fucking foot on their neck. Yehuda got his foot on their fucking neck, y'all. And period. And I've been on the phone with this doctor, okay? And when he first came on and he started giving me a rundown of who he is, and very knowledgeable, very fucking knowledgeable man. You understand me? And I'm like, okay, so you teach some of the shit I teach. Like, okay. He's like, yeah. Like, my student told me to fuck with you, Miss Jelly, and I'm like, she told me to look at you. So yes, absolutely. So we've been on the phone for probably about an hour, and I'm like, listen, if people, because I didn't know who he was, and I'm so impressed by him, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't even know if I believe in all this shit that he believe in, but I believe in the shit that we didn't talk about. And I'm like, people got to hear it, and he comes to it from a different perspective and a different angle that I was still impressed by. And y'all know I don't silence no motherfucking body just because they may not all the way be thinking and saying what I say, but I love this man right here. Like the shit we have talked about so far, I'm like so fucking impressed, y'all. So, without any fucking further ado, I had to go and find this motherfucking picture, child. Let me get this down so I can bring this king up here. I didn't went on. I said, let me go find this picture so I can do, with all due respect, put him and his beautiful wife up there and his product up there. Child, I can't wait for mine to come so I can be enriched inside of my soul with his beautiful product. Here is the doctor. Doctor.
Hi. What's going on? What's going on? How everybody
Greetings.
doing?
Cooley said, your boy Cooley said to tell you what's going on. So I want to make sure
Why
that I
not? What's
send that
good,
shout
the
out.
Kool-Aid?
Yes. So, doctor, we've been on the phone for chopping it up, and you explained who you was, and I was so fucking impressed. I said, please, let's do a live, like, right now. Like, I wanted to do it later, but sooner than later is always amazing. So I'm like, no,
Yes.
let's get the early people so the early people can get in. Let me be quiet because I want you to talk.
Oh
Tell these
man.
people who you are who don't know who you are, doctor.
All right. So
They call you the
infinite love.
COVID killer.
Yeah, they call me the COVID killer. It's Chakra
That's what they
Doctor.
putting
You
in the
know.
chat. They calling you the COVID killer. I love it.
Yeah. They already know. Y'all already know Mr. Vaccine Exemption, Mr. COVID Killer. You already know Mr. Great Grand Holy Mother of all divinity, representing that sacred feminine on gang. Y'all already know where my love gang at. Where my love gang at. I love y'all. I love all of y'all out there. It's a
Period.
pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be of service to the sacred feminine once again, to the death. You already know.
Period.
Yeah, Fury. Smoke this
So,
good
all
weed. Well,
right.
let's hit the weed, everybody, before we begin, because it's about to get real.
Go
So
ahead.
let's hit
Go
let's
ahead.
hit
I
the
wish my
weed.
lungs could stand it. I miss it. My lungs can't even stand it right now. I hope you got something to pull the mucus out. Maybe I can hit it again.
Oh yeah, man. That's what that miracle food go do. Miracle food is the remove. That's the first thing it do. Remove inflammation and pulls out mucus. And man, you'll just be surprised at all of the people I've healed. And you'd be surprised at how all of the people out here refuse to come and give testimonies too. It's like it's an amazing conundrum or oxymoron, if you will. But
Absolutely. I can understand it.
I completely love it. I didn't do it for your testimony. I did it for the pleasing of the sacred feminine and the great grand holy mother of all divinity. That's what I did it for. Most definitely.
Absolutely. All right. Tell us a little bit about you or how you got started or about
Well,
your service. Like, let the people know because I was impressed, doctor.
yeah. So I got started. I got started in New Orleans, Louisiana, right? And in New Orleans, Louisiana, uh, I went through a whole bunch of hell. I went through a whole lot of hell in New Orleans,
Greetings,
Louisiana.
Queen.
Every, everything from everything from my mother dying, you know, on Christmas Day in 1998 when I was 16 years old, to my best friend and cousin being killed, who was like a brother to me. I'm the only child of my mother and father. From my, you know, father dying of lung cancer and my grandmother's dying, and I don't have no living grandmothers. I don't have no living grandfathers. I don't have no living mother or father. Um, so coming from that and coming from poverty and addiction and child abuse, being abused as a child, right? Not sexually abused, but I was brutally abused, physically and brutally beaten upon by grown black men, right? Black man, not black men, grown black man. And so going through all of those hells, you know, beating recidivism, joining the streets, you know, being in the streets, you know, and being in the thick of the streets. Into the thick of it, I was really in the thick of the streets, you know, that led, you know, my paper. That's another one of the things that, you know, a lot of people, you know, kind of, you know, respect about my walk is how I went through that level, those levels of the streets, and still made it, you know, to where I'm at today, to where I go to prisons and I go to schools and teach, you know, young black men and older black men that, nah, man, like, I'm your story. You can, if I can make it, you can make it too, right? And so the number one thing that I represent a full body, and that's both your positive and your negative in a balance to keep you balanced, grounded, to keep you balanced. And so going through all of those hardships led me on a one particular path. And I remember when I was little, my favorite song in Sunday school used to be "This Little Light of Mine," right?
Mhm.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I never knew in a trillion years that those lights that they were talking about were the chakras. I never knew in a trillion years as to why we have Christmas lights is because they're all referring to the chakras. When I go to my red light, green light, and my yellow light and my traffic, they're pointing me back to the chakras. And when I went to school and they showed me all of the colors in the crayon, pointing me
Mm.
back to the chakras. When I look in the rainbow and see all the spectrum on the rainbow, pointing me back to the chakras. When you see, you know, all of the things, you know, that are in the environment that points you back to this sacred energy that black people created and has been appropriated by the Indian community on a high scale, so much so that they got reports of their own kind Indians flying and levitating with this, you know, sacred melanated technology, right? And so the one thing that I always implore, the one thing that I always tell people is that black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. Remember, yeah, all the seven African powers, right? Somebody said the seven primary colors, or the seven African powers, or the 7 days in your week, or 777 being the catalyst for a jackpot on your slot machine. And God created the earth in 7 days, and seven being the number of the G, Freemasonry. Seven is also an angle, a L, 7 looks like an L. This is why they hold that up in Freemasonry. Okay, they're trying to show you that that's why they do this in Freemasonry. So you look at all of those 7s, right? And then looking at all of those 7s, you say, okay, well, damn, it can't be a coincidence because the Bible says that God don't create mistakes. Well, look at nature. You can see nature is the perfect template. She is the perfect template. So we know that Creator don't make mistakes because all we gotta do is watch nature and see the non-mistake. Nature is perfect in her own right if we let her up to do her own business, right? So the number one thing that I always acknowledged was, the one thing that nature created for us that are right in our face, and what's that? The heavens and the earth. Remember, the Bible says, "On earth as it is in heaven, thy will be done." And this is what they mean in magic when they said, "Do what thou wilt" is the whole of the law, talking about your ability to choose. Okay, and so when you're talking about on earth as it is in heaven, you're talking about well, let's look at what's going on earth, and then now we'll know what's going on in heaven. Are there wars going on earth? Yep. So it is in heaven. Is this plotting, conniving, sneaking, and shucking and jiving on earth? Yep. Got it going on in heaven too. Is there human trafficking, pedophilia, and they're doing all of the evils on earth? Well, they're doing all of those evils come from a spiritual place, and what one might call the heavens. Okay. So when you are talking about this vast spectrum of blackness that we try to label as a color, because black is not a color. Black is the source of colors. When I look at the rainbow, I don't see no black stripe and no fucking rainbow, my nigga. So stop calling it a color and call it what it is. It's the source of color. There ain't nothing blacker than carbon, especially carbon-12, melanin. That's the shit that help you able. This is why black folks able to do motherfucking greater dark magics than some white folks, because of the melanin content. It's just natural. It's just nature. You can't get around certain facts of the sun. And this is called solar power. Remember, solar system, and the name of our sun is called soul. Our souls are in a system of reincarnation. Remember, is the nickname of the Greek name for Ra, the sun. Right? So your chakras, you are the sun.
I've never heard nobody else say that except for one person. Go ahead on. Yes.
That's Ra. Ra is in you. Told you this body is a vehicle. Nation, told you we're all one soul tribe. Nation. And you're from the constellation of Scorpio. These are the sons of the Lord that you report to. I'm from the constellation of Aries. And whatever your constellations are, this is remember the 13 members of our galactic council that governs this solar system are Aries through Ophiuchus. Okay? But these are just the current day names for these things. You think their names started off as Aries and Ophiuchus? No. Remember, gods and goddesses go by many names all the time, and we always getting reborn and rebirthed through our bloodlines of magic that we established long ago. This is what they showed you in that movie Underworld, when the vampire go to sleep for 1,000 years, and all you got to do is get the blood of the other vampire, and it's like he lived the other 1,000 years that the other vampire lived, and they take turns going to sleep for 1,000 years and taking turns ruling for 1,000 years apiece. This is the same thing with magical bloodlines and generational curses and generational blessings. The older the bloodline, and the more that bloodline been practicing magic, the stronger the bloodline. They show you this shit on the originals. Okay, on the originals, the older the vampire, all vampire movies, the older the vampire, the stronger the vampire. But y'all forgot about the one vampire that they never like to really brag about, and that's that Negro vampire called Blade, the Daywalker. Now we talking. Now we talking Chakra Doctor. Blade, Daywalker. Yeah. Now we talking Chakra Doctor world. Chakra Doctor is Blade, the Daywalker. You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about there are levels of vampirism. And notice Blade the Daywalker was able to still get his serum and be stronger than all the other vamps. And they always used to try to kidnap him and take his blood. Huh? Every show the Blade movie, they're always trying to kidnap Blade and analyze his blood to find out how they can become daywalkers, so they can stop wearing the screen on their skin that burns them, right?
Yep.
So they show you in the underworld the vampires and the Lycans. The Lycans are the niggas and the vampires are the white folk. They always show it to you in broad, plain as day. You just have to analyze. They say, what's the most powerful? That one that everybody's scared of, the hybrid, and I tell people, when the world, America is one vast big hybrid. everybody from here, everybody from here ain't from here. the only people that is from here catching hell, and they don't rule this motherfucker. So we can't, are y'all really from here, nigga? Y'all let a nigga come in. That's like a nigga coming on the block and taking all your coke and all your dope and taking all your block and start moving weight on your shit and kicks you off your block. Is that still your block, nigga? No, that ain't your block, nigga. Nigga took that. Nigga came and racked that. Think about this. This is what I tell people. The equivalent of black folk asking for handouts and motherfucking welfare food stamps. No offense to all my black people. I'm just saying the equivalent, the street equivalent, come from the streets. I look at shit from a street perspective. The street equivalent to that is a nigga coming, and you on the block, you talking all that gangster, yeah, woo-de-woo, wop-de-wop, blap-de-bap. You feel me? And you talking all that woo-de-woo, nigga come and take all your dope. Make all your people get down or lay down. And then after that, you come out and the next day this nigga moving your work and you standing in line asking a nigga for your work like a fiend.
Yeah.
How the fuck you just nigga, damn homie, in high school you was the man, homie. You was just running the block yesterday. Remember they say a day in the sight of God is 1,000 years in the sight of man. We was just running the block yesterday, nigga. We was just running the block yesterday. Nigga, today we ain't running the block. So you got to look at what happened. Who is to blame? Who is to blame when a basketball team lose? The cheerleaders or the players? All right.
Sometimes
I
it's
repeat.
cheerleaders, don't it?
I repeat. When the army loses the battle, when the army loses the battle, and they take the prisoners of war. They kill the men and they take the who? The women's. Same difference. So why you think they making most of you niggas wear dresses just to prove that you worth something? See, why you think these niggas got you niggas putting on? Look what they did, look what they did, little young boy. They were gonna get you eventually, young boy. You hanging with you lay with the dog. You gonna get fleas. You lay with the, you lay with certain breads and you gonna end up with crumbs. But look how they do it. They got the most gangsters nigga in the game, so-called, to come and put on some Chanel makeup and talk about how he's still gangster about to make a song with 6ix9ine. How the fuck this go? And they always get some on New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Texas ass nigga to push the main agendas because they know this is where the bulk of the magic at in America. They know this here. They know the history they know the Lone Star State and that motherfucking boot don't play no game when it come to this fucking magic and this sorcery. They know everything during that slave trade was passing through that port right there. Come on, man. They know this here. And they know that residual energy never dies and they can live and they can feed off that, my nigga. But you don't know it. This is why you'll be breaking your neck to go work at McDonald's instead of building your own McDonald's. Fuck working for McDonald's when you can build your own. Fuck working for fucking Amazon. Build your own Amazon. That's the equivalent of a nigga stealing your fucking work, and now you come and ask this nigga for a front. You see what I'm saying? So as Negroes, as niggas, N-E-G-U-S, niggas never ignorant getting goals accomplished. We have to wake up to that word that derogatory word that we turned into billions and trillions of dollars. See, we take nothing and turn it into something. But how we make $2 trillion?
You did that.
Right. And that's the only, but look how I did it. I didn't go, remember the Bible says, they asked Christ, what are the greatest of the commandments? He said, you ready? He said, love the Lord with all your God, with all your heart and all your strength. But y'all forgot who the Lord is. Y'all think the Lord outside of you. You think you not the Lord. And Jesus tell you that you are God in the Bible. Jesus say that you God. Psalms say that the human being is God in the Bible. So how God gonna tell me I'm God and I don't believe it? Niggas just don't read. Ready?
When we was just building, I said to you, Doctor, I said, do you know that I don't believe in the character of Jesus? And I told you I believe in Yehuda. I believe that I am the source. I am she is me. I am the divine feminine. I am the beginning. I am Adina.
And the Bible says this. John 10:34, Psalms 82:6. The Bible declares that you are God. Every
Yes, I
person
am.
walking this face of this planet Earth possesses something called a soul, or one might call a chakra. Remember Ra, our heritage, Chakra, right? So they still keep our heritage. This is why after every prayer we say Amen, still bringing it back to the source. Remember, still bringing it back to Africa. Amen.
Him and I go do a Bible study because I told him that I debunk the Bible and I show different things on how they use the Bible against us. And he said that
No, I
the
tell
Bible
people
comes from.
it's a dualistic book.
On.
It has 60. It's a dualistic book. It has 66 books. 33 for the right, 33 for the left hand path of magic, 33 for the right hand path of magic. 66 books. If you look at the Old Testament deals with the satanic side of the Bible. If you look at the New Testament deals with mostly of the what one might call the godly side of the Bible. If you look at Yahweh in the Bible, Yahweh is actually the devil. They actually show you in the Bible how the God is the devil, and Yahweh has a God that is higher than him called the Most High El in Deuteronomy. You just have to read these stories and decipher from through the Hebrew that they were stolen from, and the Hebrew stole that from niggas. See, so you still gonna trace it back to Negroes.
It's an allegory, though, Doctor. I teach
Remember,
them that it's an
Galatians
allegory.
4, 22 and 24 says it. Galatians 4, y'all write this down. Galatians 4, 22 through 24 teaches that the Bible is an allegory. Because the Bible itself says it out of its own mouth that it's an allegory. But where did they steal these allegories from? They didn't make them up out of their own mind. This is what I'm all about. I'm all about what was stolen from me. And I want that back. Because you ain't about to steal
Okay, now wait, Doctor,
from me.
I want you to tell them something because we were on the phone for a very long time. And you said something that was impressive to me that I would like for you to share because we didn't get all the way into it, but I was impressed. You said that you had to fight the Orisha and you gave your body over to. So now I want to understand more of what you said there.
Okay, so.
And Cooley wants to come up here in a moment, so we'll let Cooley come up here shortly.
So when I started stepping into my crown when I started stepping into my Christ crown as Lucifer, and I started to wield the power of my heavenly magics and my hell magics, and started claiming my powers back as a natural black god king upon the face of the planet Earth who is fully chakra activated. I started to meet resistance amongst the magicians of my town, the sacrificial magicians of my town, the vampire magicians of my town, the glamour magicians of my town, the voodoo magicians of my town. A lot of psychics and a lot of channelers were against me because I was giving away free magic. I used to go into the French Quarter. I'm from here. You can't tell me nothing. I used to go on the lake. I used to go on the French Quarter, Canal Street, set up my table, give people free readings, give people free downloads of magic, have buku talks with people for free, and I only ask for a donation like the church. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. The Great Mother got my motherfucking pockets. The Great Mother of all divinity has always been the supplier of my Christ consciousness. I don't know where everybody else get their Christ consciousness from, but my Christ consciousness comes from the source, and the source is the Great Grand Holy Mother of all divinity, and I carry her name proudly. Aume Yue Wa Asa. So I early in life, early, not in life, but early in this beginning of this stage of life when I became fully activated and I started this ministry in 2016, I went to the grave of my ancestors and I petitioned the Great Grand Holy Mother, I petitioned the Grandmother Earth, and I petitioned the Holy Mother Nature. And I stepped in my crown in the name, and I came in the name of the Sun Father Ra, as my heritage as Ra. Everybody are all of these guys. Any one of us could be any one of these guys whenever we want to be, however we want to be. This is the power of the human, and this is why the human being is so important to the grand design, because this is a test of universal consciousness and how it will manifest within the human consciousness, because the human has the ability to be everything at once. And so when I went to went to my ancestors' graves, I asked them to give me their blessing to be a you know, to be a black Messiah that will raise our black women and our black children and our black men to righteousness again. And I got my request granted. And when I got my request granted, I went through a series of tests. The first series of tests was meeting a form of my mother's doppelganger. My mother's name was Narissa, and I had to cleanse I had to cleanse the house. I had to cleanse and bless and do a reverse retro as well as do a test. It was a 4-part ritual at this house in the 7th ward for this woman, this black woman named Narissa. Come to find out later, she was an agent, but I didn't know it then at that time. I was just coming into myself. And during this ritual, it was on 5/5, which is, Cinco de Mayo. It was a reverse the curse retro ritual, and an evil magician at the time was, really, really heavy against me, and he was really, really heavy in Orisha. He was, I can say he's, to this day, I haven't met a person that is that well adept with the Orisha since him, and he sent the whole pantheon at me, nigga. He sent the whole pantheon at me. He put a curse on a few women. The women came to me and said, "Can you remove this curse?" I said, "You fucking well right. I can remove any motherfucking curse. Ain't a nigga in his mom fucking with me in this shit." And they all of them over the phone. I told them to give me their names, give me their permission to remove this, and also not only that, send it to me. I activated all of their chakras, and during the chakra activation, I made them etherically through neutrino beam. Just send it all to me, and I gathered it all, and I went and I did the ritual. During the ritual, and I like to do to the death rituals because death is the great equalizer and the great motivator that keeps us moving in life. And so I always like to do to the death rituals. I don't want to do nothing. I want it all. I want all the smoke. And so during the ritual, it was a challenge. Hey, look, if y'all beat me, I die. Period. If I beat you, I get the power of the pantheon. Period. And y'all are subservient to me. That's it. Who are you? Period. I am God. I am God.
Period.
Who are you? Let's go. Challenge accepted. I let my being open, and I let all of the Orisha, all of it, enter into me. It felt really, 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 really empty. It was like this universal shift was happening in me, and my body was not my body. Everything was not me. The only thing I had control of was my will. Everything else they had control of. I had control of, meaning the will to the level of, hey, I'm not gonna let you run me off a bridge and go kill myself. I had control of my will to that part, but the rest was just straight testing. The number one thing that they did was attack my weaknesses. And before I became a natural holistic healer, one of my weaknesses was my feet. I have flat feet, and I used to get inflammation. Used to be on a garbage truck doing all that running, and get inflamed feet. And I couldn't go to work the next day, right? But after I became, after Dr. Sabi gained me and woke me up when I met him at the convention center, boom, I never had a fucking health problem since, and I heal incurable diseases, right? I always take shit to the extreme. Whenever somebody give me whatever they give me, I take it to the extreme because I want to see how far this shit can really go. So when the first thing that they, not the first thing, the only thing that they did for about 9.5 to 10 hours straight was this hard wooden floor, and all they did was just stomp my feet on a hard wooden floor in hopes that I would just pass out and give up and be like, enough, stop. And people were like people were calling the police, because they said they heard noise and it's been going on for the last such and such amount of hours. Because I'm in that motherfucker speaking in tongues. Man, my mama came in and visited me during that time and said, oh no, my ancestors came and helped me and everything. I left myself open to everything. Not just them, everything. So my ancestors, my dead homies, everybody was able to come see me at that time. It was like, yeah, bitch, I'm not the only one. Bitch, we ganging this bitch. You tripping. You feel me? Boom. And I survived. Not only did I survive, I thrived and I won. And when I beat the Orisha, that's how I was able to actually leave New Orleans. I had a bind on me that kept me in New Orleans for like 30 something years of my life. I'm 39 right now. That shit kept me in New Orleans for fucking like 35 years of my fucking life. I got awakened when I was 33. I didn't leave till 2017. I got awakened when I'm talking about fully awakened into my chakras. But that's what I call awakening. I ain't talking about sitting there masturbating, talking about subjects and shit. I'm talking about
Man, you
actually
favor my
awakening.
mom physically. You look like my mother.
Yeah, I told you we all soul tribe and we all kinfolk. We all and this is why we make these coincidental connections and attractions, because we're all kinfolk. We are all in it. And we all sign contracts with each other. Right, bomb. They got the
I'm sorry
trademark
to even
bomb.
butt in, but I needed to say that. Like, you look like my fucking mom, bro.
And guess what? You know the
Please
reason
go
why
ahead.
I look like your mama? Because that's who raised me. The great mother raised me. I was 5 years old. I used to be 5 years old, right? My mom, her church friends got me in a circle, asking me all kind of questions, and I'm just giving them these fucking like answers out of this world. Got people like they like, oh my God, who is he? Right? My mom used to tell me, my mom used to tell me, I used to be the people like there used to be people used to be like, in the name of Jesus. My mom used to say, you know, Jesus had a mama. My mom used to always say, that was one of her favorite phrases, you know, Jesus had a mama. So when people ever try to, whenever somebody try to mention Jesus, mama always say, well, Jesus had a mother, and without Jesus' mother, he would never ascended to Christ. He would have died in the manger back at the stable. You know that, right? Right. Okay. So understanding,
I don't lie. I
how the
cringe every
woman.
time you say that name because we don't speak that name.
Well. Remember that name is a play, and so the reason why you cringe because you haven't stepped into the power of your plagiarized name. For instance, they got people who have committed evil upon
We
evil.
carry
I
the
can say
name of
their name.
Yehuda over here.
Right. Well, remember, Yehuda, whether it's Yehuda, Yahweh, Satan, Yaldabaoth, Jesus, Jehovah, Krishna, Buddha, whatever name of any God, they all serve the Great Mother. Let's get that clear. So, I can always mention their
Absolutely. They
name because
serve. Absolutely. He
that
does serve
patriarchy,
Adina. Absolutely.
the patriarchy always answers to the matriarchy. It's not the other way around. The queen bees will always run the fucking field of honey in the busy bee nest. The lionesses will always choose who's going to be the next leader of the pride. It's the pharaoh mothers who get together and choose who the pharaoh is going to be. If you look into society, women run the whole scene. So when you mention any masculine, I think in the terms of masculinity and femininity. So whenever you mention anything masculine, I automatically know that's called lesser arcana. When you mention anything feminine, I already know that that's called major arcana. So I think in the terms of energy, because of the formulas that I create and the algorithms that I create, I think in the terms of computer technology. I don't think in the terms of, there's not a name on the face of the planet that can offend me because,
Can we get into that?
right. So that there's not a name on the face of the planet that can offend me because everything is in a word. And if they got 3 billion people repeating a word, then that's 3 billion attention spans going on a word. And I want some of that energy. I don't care how people cringe on it. You see?
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so
And
if
that's
they
why
somebody they got 2
Mother
billion, they got
Adina
2
is I
billion
and I
people.
am she.
And guess what? And may the great grand holy mother bless you and all that you take a liking to. Empower your sacred feminine to the highest of the high that you could ever take it. And may any man who try to come against your sacred femininity, may he meet a terrible blunder. For the hour is for the she, for you see where he has brought the earth. So those of us who are in the she, we refer to ourselves as we, us, our, because ISIS is, it is what it is. See, we have to understand that there's a structure when you see the feminine woman, and you see the sacred divine masculine, the divine masculine not wearing a purse, getting fucked in his ass man, creating the family unit. The family unit we like to call what? Empire. Okay, empire building has been and always will be a thing of the nature. And nature, last time I checked, is the netta, and last time I checked, that's sacred feminine, the great mother. And so always remember, ladies, if there's something that we cringe at, that's something in our system that shows fear. And when I take the F off of fear, I got ear. And this is why you cringe, because you heard it come through your ear. So this is something in your system, and your system is letting you know, wait a minute, fear does not have a place in the mind of a goddess, because she is all. But Gabe, guess what? Omnipotence means that you are the baby getting killed and the baby killer. Let's talk about this here. I tell people that omnipotence and omnipresence and omnipotence and omniscience, all of these things are relegated to something called the all. So the all is having an experience called everything. This everything experience can be anything. Okay? And this anything experiences, these anythings are all subjected and answered to the motherboard, the mothership called the all. So the baby killer and the pedophile are both worshiping, are acting out in a program that the all is in control of. This is why I say I don't never shun nothing, because if she got it into existence and she's allowing it, then there's a plan that she got that my finite mind just can't understand, because she is all. And so if she is allowing these things to go on to challenge us, if she is allowing these things to go on to push us and move us like she does the seed, to get the seed above the ground so it can get into the light and out of her darkness and stay rooted and be a tree that bringing forth fruit in the season, the leaves not going to wither, and whatsoever ye do it shall prosper. You got to understand with the book that she created, and they turned it into a he book. They turned it into a he book, but just replace all of the father terms and put mother, and you're going to see her right back in the Bible, running shit like she been doing. The reason why they removed her from that book,
that's what I'm saying.
The reason why they removed her from that book is because they know that when you find out, remember, they know that when you find out who she is, you tap back into no longer God power, you tap back into who you are, power source. See? And there's a difference between source power and God power. God power. You see? Right now you're goddess, but do you know a level that's past goddess that you can reach called sourceness? Sourceness. Sorceress. Sorceress.
Come on.
Sorceress. Yes. Now we talking about past goddess. See, because now we going back to source energy. See, and now we're talking about motherhood, not the brotherhood, not the sisterhood, but the one that birthed the brotherhood and the sisterhood, motherhood, the clit. Remember the hood? That's the clit. Come on, y'all got to understand what's going on in these sacred feminine streets. And until you understand what's going on in these sacred feminine streets, you'll understand why my great mother created evil and why my great mother created good. Because guess what? You can't just be good all the time. It don't work like that. This is why when you having a baby, it hurt like that, because everything that comes with a value comes at a hardship. So guess what? She's showing you what it took to give birth to the universe. It wasn't hard. It hurt me to give birth to y'all. Let me show y'all what I went through, incarnating to this body, and I'm gonna run you through a simulation of what I went through, but you're still calling it evil. Well, wait a minute. You ain't ready to walk in my shoes. You're still calling it hurt. You're still calling it pain. You're still calling it suffering. Why you not loving it? Why are you not loving it? Because unconditional love loves the pain. Unconditional love loves the suffering. Unconditional love loves Jesus. Why? Because in the end, it's all got to report back to my womb. Check, file. You see how that go? So in the end, when it's all said and done, we who carry the sacred feminine ankh, that's where the cross comes from, the ankh. Okay? We who carries the ankh code, we know that Jesus is just a stolen story of Ra and Heru and Osiris. We know that, okay, wait a minute. all gods and goddesses report to a goddamn source, and it's called the motherboard, the motherhood, the mothership. Why you think all aliens, when they come in, the mothership is the main ship? Okay, why you think the female spider is the black widow is the deadliest spider? See, we look at nature, and nature is going to keep showing you how the deadliest things are feminine. This is why you gotta. This is why females gotta discipline yourself, because you are death incarnate, and death is the transformational door. Remember, without death, we can't get into higher lives and rise like out of ashes like phoenixes. Death is a doorway and a portal so that we can ascend into higher states of being. And the woman is the epitome of the triple black darkness of the empty we like to call death. But it's a transformational door. And this is why you gotta this is why you gotta go get buried in the ground when you die, like a seed gets buried. That seed is now dying and becoming a tree. You no longer are going to be a seed now. I know you was a seed for a little while over there, but now it's time for you to be something bigger. I got a farm for you now, baby. Come on, I'm about to put you in a population. You got to die here, buried. See? And what they told you Jesus did, how he rose after the third day. Remember, 3 is the magic number. So they're showing you nature once again. And we know that Jesus is a stolen religion. Christianity is a stolen religion. All religions are stolen religions. Current day religions are all stolen. And once I know that, then now I ain't got to worry about who's right and who's wrong. I know you stole it from me. I'm right. You wrong. That's it. I'm right. You wrong.
It's definitely stolen.
That's my mother's house. Remember, she's a brick house. That's my mother's house. They call the houses of the zodiac. That's my mother's house. In my mother's house, there are many mansions, the 28 mansions on the moon. This is house shit. Remember, home is where the heart is. Home is where the love is. Take the H off of home, and I got home. Add the W, and I got whoa. Man, y'all got to understand what's really going on in this life of sacred femininity in these sacred feminine streets. This is why niggas don't understand how to navigate, because they still don't know how to cope with negativity, suffering, and pain. Because women, when they give birth, that's pain. It ain't no nigga. I gave birth to my own. I delivered my own daughter out of my own wife's vagina, nigga, by ourselves, nigga. I know the pain she went through. 20 hours of labor, my nigga. I am. What are you talking about? But y'all, we don't understand why certain things in life is hard. She give it to us hard because she loves us. She give it to us hard because she loves us. She said, no, you worth something. Let me put you through something. Let me put you through what I went through. Did you know what it takes for me to give birth to light? Did you know what it takes for me to give birth to multiverses, interverses, universes, and ultraverses? Did you know what it takes for me to be your mother? Do you know what it takes for me? You are not going to be able to be born into this life without knowing what it took for me to give you this life, nigga. So stop wanting it easy in this bitch when your mama always had it hard her whole fucking life. And this is why Jesus had to come, or the man has to come and suffer and till the ground. Man is that perverted representation of Christ. He had to come. Why? Because he is the only begotten son of the mother. You see? And he got to come do the mother's job. All they did was just remixed it and replaced it and called it father, my nigga. And niggas all scared of the word because they replaced it and called it father. Niggas just shook. Nigga, what? We are the word. We are the embodiment and the epitome of words. We created everything. There is nothing in life we have not created. What are you afraid of? Think about this. We are the source of
Let's talk about the magi. Let's talk about the magic. Come on.
Let's get it.
Because you spitting and they feeling what you're saying, but we talked about so much.
Magic.
You talked about, come on, you talked about algorithms. Come on.
So first and foremost, you know, magic is a current day term for what they like to call melanin. Okay? All beings on the face of, if you analyze the element, remember the elemental components of melanin, when you analyze it, every single thing in this carbon universe, in this carbon copy world, needs melanin. I don't care if it's female melanin, if it's different level, because there's different levels of melanin. I don't care if it's the lower melanin, the middle melanin, or upper melanin, right? They got 3 levels of melanin, all right? And I know most of y'all know that I ain't got to preach to the choir, So when you look at how everything not only needs carbon, aka melanin, to have its animation and have its aliveness, then you start analyzing the levels of melanin. And there's a special melanin called carbon 12. Uh-oh, there go them 12 signs of the zodiac. There go them 12 tribes of Israel. There go them 12 months of the year. There go them 12s on the clock. There go those 12, there go 12 hours of the day half, 12 hours of the night half. Last time I checked, 1 + 2 is 3. 3 is the magic number. Okay, we ain't talking about magic. We talking about science. Okay? And when you're talking about science, you got to go back to the root of magic. And the root of magic is when you go out into the sky, what do you see in the sky? What stars are shining on the backdrop? That's melanin. Yeah, that blackness is melanin. So analyzing life from a carbon perspective, because everything in life needs carbon to exist, and there's nothing blacker than carbon. This is why carbon is not a color; it is an element. Okay, and dealing and what element is it? We ready for this? It is said that carbon embodies all of the elements: fire, earth, air, water, the ether, you name it, the H2, the hydrogen, the oxygen, the nitrogen. Melanin embodies all of the elements. It is said that melanin is the melanin found in our body is liquid stardust. Liquid stardust, literally, like somebody took a piece of the black space of sky and molded it and shaped it and put it on a potter's wheel and called it a name. And so when you're talking about this, you're talking about an ancient thing called what? Hekah. And the Kemetic people called it Hekah. The Greeks got their hands on it, and the Latins got their hand on it. They call it the Magi. But when you break out magic, let's break down the first word in magic. Ma. Uh-oh, there go my mama again. See? So when you take that blackness in the sky, if you take everything, ready? This is the magic. You are a carbon copy of the great grand holy mother universe. How can you envision that? Take everything in existence in all of the cosmos and put it into a sacred, the baddest black bitch you could ever find your fucking eyes, and put it into that. And this is the great grand holy mother universe. It's called the universal organism. It is called the universal body complex. The Akashic records are on the 6th dimension. We'll get to that one day. Because I teach people how to go to the 6th dimension. Why you gonna pay $800,000 to get an Akashic record reading when I could just show you how to get there? Because it's inside of you. You are Akasha, Aaliyah, queen of the damned. But we don't understand where all the vampires get their genetics get it from. Why you think when a baby come out, the baby is a vampire trying to suck all your life out your chest? See, we got to understand our natures. Okay, and so when you look at it, remember, because why it's the sacred feminine is a receiver. She receives the seed and turns it into a tree. She receives the money and turns it into a bank in a portfolio. She receives the groceries and turn it into a meal. She receives the people and turn it into a home. You see, she's a receptionist. Yeah. This is why most businesses, the people that's going to be a receptionist are female. Receivers. We got to think in terms of science now. She is the plug that's going to accept. She is the jack that's going to accept the plug and give it its electricity. Remember, the male is the plug. I'm about to plug into this jack called the female, and she's going to power me with source energy called electromagnetic current. And I'm going to be able to have action and go zzz and move about, vibrating. That zzz represents a vibration. So now you're talking about magic. You're talking about the sacred feminine, divine, masculine vibration that dwells within all celestial, or what one might call immortal, infinite conscious beings. Okay? The power, or what you simply put, the supernatural, the invisible, the metaphysical. Everybody got a name for it. The metaphysical, the supernatural, the invisible, God, goddess, Orisha. Everybody got a name for the invisible. But magic is simply the invisible, the spectrum that exists, that makes up our whole universe that we can't see with our naked eye. Particles, atoms, quarks, molecules, cells, all of these germs, viruses, bacteria, all of these things make up your whole entire environment. You can't see it with your naked eye. You only can see 2%. If women can see germs right now, I don't think they'll get up and leave their house. They see, oh shit, bacteria everywhere, germs everywhere. Nah, nigga, it makes up your whole system. Okay, and this is called the quantum dimension. Okay, or the quantum world. And now you're talking about that triple blackness, that space-time continuum. All right, so this is the magic, the supernatural, the invisible. Now, when you're talking about, now you got two types of magicians. They only got two types of magicians because we're all supernatural. But they only got two types of supernaturals. They got intentional supernaturals and unintentional supernaturals. That's it. People who use their supernatural abilities to travel into domains of metaphysics, crafts, witchcraft, sciences, religions, don't shun no knowledge, because it's called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Remember, that's the thing that started the whole garden, knowledge. God had them locked in the garden, ignorant. The snake came and gave him some motherfucking knowledge. The serpent came and gave him some knowledge, and God got mad and kicked him out the motherfucking. God got mad and kicked him out the garden. My nigga, that wasn't God, that was the devil. Y'all just don't piece the puzzle together. That's not a godly thing to do. To create something, put it in the garden so you can have everything up in here except for that, and then when they violate the law for the first time, they kick it out. That's real devilish, but we think that's God. This is crazy. When you see Noah fuck both of his daughters, that's devilish. That's a prophet of God. That's devilish. I keep telling you. When you see David, David got a man killed to take his wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. David, what are you doing? Aren't you a prophet of God? Why you got Bathsheba husband killed so you can get you some pussy? See? So we show you the devilish movements that's going on in the Old Testament. Why y'all keep calling it God? I'll never know. God will never ask you to sacrifice your child. She don't roll like that. She don't need you to sacrifice. She don't need that. She is the child you sacrifice, and right? She is you that sacrifices the child. Why would she want that? Period. That's the last thing she wants. The number one thing she wants, the shit that you ain't willing to give her. Your time, just like any other woman. How you gonna build a strong relationship if you ain't spending time with your woman, nigga? Time is money. Time is money. That which you spend the most time with shall be the guardian of your galaxy. Period. That's how the game goes. So you better put your right time invested into the right shit. And this is so you got intentional magicians and unintentional magicians. Like I was breaking down how to get into the Illuminati. I said, y'all want to get to the head. This is how you get it. They got the initiates. You got your Orthodox initiates. You got your unorthodox initiates. You got your ones who and you got, remember, I always tell people, and you got your uninitiated, the ones who muscled their way into the cup. Okay, all of them are serving some evil drink baby blood shit. If you want to get to that $50 million billion shit like Kanye and them, I'm letting you know that now. So if you want that smoke, you got to be malevolent just to attract that type of energy. You got to have some ugly shit in you already just to attract that type of energy to you, because they doing ugly shit. All right. So the intentional magician is one who wakes up and says, I am about to live my life magically. I'm about to live my life esoterically. I'm about to discover the hidden meanings of life, no matter where these knowledges are at. And I'm going to apply these knowledges in an organized way. Magic. You see magic all in the Bible. You see magic. How many times they mention meditate in the Bible? Over 30 times. How many times they mention crystals, sage, incense in the Bible? The Bible is the greatest book of sorcery on the face of the planet. Y'all believe in an invisible God that can talk through a burning bush. Y'all believe in whales that can swallow people and not die. Y'all got talking donkeys in the motherfucking Bible, like on Shrek. You got motherfuckers who can die, come back to life, and then raise more dead people. They got motherfucker walking on water, levitating. They got motherfucker doing alchemy, turning water into wine over here. You got this nigga splitting the whole Red Sea with a fucking staff. Then he turned that same staff into a snake, went to battle with two magicians from Egypt and beat the fucking magicians from fucking Egypt, and then laid up there. And after he did all that, nigga was able to go into the wilderness, right? Go into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, no food, and get challenged by a fucking evil person called Satan. Then while Job was chilling, God and the devil was in heaven making a deal on how they gonna challenge Job. Wait a minute, everybody got this shit wrong. Y'all got this shit wrong. Nigga,
Yeah.
God and the devil are on the same side. God, nigga, the devil works for God, nigga. The devil is a fucking agent of the Lord. Last time I checked, that Job story showed me everything, nigga, on game, nigga. When the devil walked in with the sons of God, nigga, and God didn't arrest that nigga, put that nigga in jail, destroy that nigga, or kill that nigga, God, that ain't your enemy. Stop lying. God, you're lying if you're talking about that's your enemy. Nigga, you came and you had a conversation with a nigga, so much so that you put Job on the chopping block. This is why we got a Job right now. Everybody got to go to their Job. And how many of y'all got a Job, a 9-to-5 Job?
Yeah.
How many of us got a 9-to-5 Job?
Now, come on. Come on.
Y'all talk about the Bible ain't magic. Y'all talk about the Bible ain't magic. Shit, that bitch sorcery on deck. You tripping. Look, and then on top of that, not only did God sick the devil on Job, nigga killed all his children, killed all of everything. It was all esoteric. He had 7 daughters, and he had 7 sons. Look at that, 7 and 3 daughters with 7,000 oxen and 3,000 fucking sheep herds. Come on, man. This shit, y'all ain't peeping the fucking Harry Potter in this shit. Y'all don't see the Voldemort in this shit. Okay, well, let's keep on traveling down the Lord of the Rings hole since you motherfuckers believe they got dragons in the Bible, in the book of Job called Leviathan. Nigga, that's a dragon. Nigga, y'all ever play role-playing games, nigga, on motherfucking Final Fantasy? Nigga, the Leviathan is the dragon. Huh? Oh, wait a minute, man. They got talking snakes in this bitch. Okay. I told you, talking donkeys. That's Shrek all day. All right. You look at the Bible and the fantastical shit of the Bible is my favorite episode of Charmed. It's my favorite episode of Lucifer. It's my favorite episode of motherfucking Supernatural. It's my favorite episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It is my favorite episode of The Magicians. It is my favorite episode of you name that motherfucking Bewitched. You name it. It's my favorite episode, my nigga. So for Christians to say that they're not sorcerers or not magicians, they're fucking liars. Period. You can't be a Christian and not be a sorcerer. Look at the book you believe in. You believe in a book where motherfuckers die and reincarnate in 3 days, nigga. What kind of shit you on, nigga? Show me that spell you did, Jesus. Because he went to the Egyptian temple to learn that shit now. At 12 years old, remember they was trying to kill him. Remember they was trying to smash him. They was trying to out him. And they were trying to knock his head off because they knew he was toting that fucking magical bloodline. So they brought him to Egypt. Come on now. They brought him to the niggas. Come on, man. I keep telling y'all I keep telling y'all the Israelites are not black people. That's why they call the Israelites. And we're called the Melanites. Night, nigga. Night, nigga. The Knights of the Round Table, nigga. King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. You see?
You gotta say it, Doctor.
They're called the Israelites. They're called the Israelites. This is why you think they were enslaved in a black nation. They were enslaved by Egypt. Egypt is black folk. Egypt is black people. So the first people that the children of Israel was trying to escape from, so you trying to tell me black people were trying to escape from black people, nigga? And that was a black man telling another black man to let my people go on Pharaoh thing.
Right.
Nah, nigga. Nah, that was white folks that niggas had on motherfucking slave duty, nigga, and they playing catch back. Stop acting like you didn't start this shit, nigga, and you the originators of everything. See? That's the only thing I'll be getting with my niggas. Y'all can't claim that we the gods and originators of everything and don't take blame and responsibility for everything. Nigga, karma don't miss. So something karmically happened to get us into this position because karma don't lie. She that bitch. Karma is a bitch and life is a bitch and they don't miss, my nigga. So what did we men do? Because we are the protectors, the servers, the maintainers, the sustainers, and the providers of the nation. So what do we Negro men do for such a great fall? They say Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. They say, oh Lucifer, how had thou fallen from the heaven and lay weakened to the nations? We're Lucifer, people. We're the condensed light. Remember, melanin is condensed light.
Just did this in Bible study.
Remember Jesus is Lucifer. Jesus calls himself Lucifer in Revelations 22:16. Jesus said, I am the bright. I am the bright and morning star.
Doctor.
Jesus is the bright and morning star.
Yes,
people.
They're the same.
A morning star. Morning star. They are one and the same. This is why they only mention them one time. This is why they only mention them one time in the Old Testament and only once. Because he don't get his shine on into the New Testament. The Old Testament, that was satanic as Yahweh. I keep on telling you. This is why he killed all. This is why in the Bible, how many people God killed in the Bible? Over 2 million deaths by God's hand. And he said he the one that invented thou shalt not kill, right? But they stole that from the Book of the Dead of Egypt, right? Other black people in Egypt, right? So it's still stolen, plagiarized data. It's stolen, plagiarized data, given a whitewash spin. So you just gotta analyze it from the perspective of, okay, that's the equivalent of me taking your car, right? Somebody stealing your car. You go to sleep at night. You wake up, go on your driveway, your car missing. Oh Lord, somebody stole my car. You file your police report. Somebody stole your car. File your police report, right? Boom, you know, filed your police report. Fuck you. They still ain't been able to find your car, right? 2 weeks later, your neighbor and them show up to the doorstep. Yeah, man, you know, as you still was with any word on the car? Did the police have any suspects or motives? No, man, I gotta catch Uber to work, and I gotta da 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 da. Well, me and the people, me in the neighborhood, or me and the people at work, or my job, or whatever the excuse they use. You know, we feel bad about what happened to you. We pride ourselves on this neighborhood being a great neighborhood. And we pride ourselves on this neighborhood being a great neighborhood. And so, you know, what we did was, we got you a new car. And you look at the car, it's the same kind of car you had, but it's all white. And it's tricked out from Exhibit. They brought it to Pimp My Ride. And you thinking, oh my God, my neighbor done bought me a brand new car. Thank you, neighbor. Thank you. And you ride your car proud to your neighbor. Yeah, my neighbor got me this car. My neighbor got me this car. And your neighbor just laughing like, oh, bitch, I stole your car and brought that shit to the shop and sold it back to you. And you riding around thinking this your neighbor bought you this car when your neighbor stole your car and sold it back to you. And this is the level of the equivalent of niggas today. We are scared of the doctrines that were stolen from us because we've been taught to be scared of the doctrines that were stolen from us. Okay, so this is why I always tell people, when I read the white man's Bible, right, and I found out, oh shit, there's a difference between white folks. You got the Jewish white man, you got the Anglo-Saxon white man, you got the the Icelandic white man, and they all beefing with colorism, and they all got the Irish white people and the Italian white people, and they all come together against you Negro ass you niggas, but they got beef within their own faction. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know the Ku Klux Klan was beefing with the Jews, and he said I didn't know none of this until I read the white man's Bible, and they had a lot of motherfucking words that completely offends niggas to this day in that bit. But I still read it so I can get a peek inside of the mind of the evil that wrote it, and it was it helped me say, oh, okay, so that's why they do this, and this is why this happened, and this is why this happened, right, and this is why that happened, and this is what they do us. They'll go buy a hood now. Let me see how these niggas think. See, they'll go buy. They'll buy your book. Y'all want to see how you think. They'll buy your book and they're gonna read your shit. They want to know what you know. They want to know what the fuck you know. They don't give a fuck about that belief system shit. That's your personal belief. I don't give a fuck about that. I got my own personal belief. You see how they go? So why are black people? Your personal belief shouldn't stop us from building planes, trains, schools, bus stations, hospitals, banks, motherfucking boutiques. Nigga, belief system shouldn't stop this from happening. This is economics. As long as you got a belief system that you believe is going to get you to the higher levels of life, by golly, believe in that motherfucker. But that shouldn't stop us from collaborating and opening up this business mall over here. You feel me? This business model over here, we can turn that into something nice. You do this and I do that and shit. That's just a perfect match. Outside our belief system, we really a perfect match, right? So, and this is what and when you look at most black people and why we're not building because of the differences of belief system. The Moor can't build with the Hebrew Israelite, and the Hebrew Israelite can't build with the Nation of Islam, and the Nation of Islam can't build with the Christian, and the Christian can't build with the Muslim, and the Muslim can't build with the Judaist Jew, right? And so on and so forth. And this is the plan all along. Take their own shit, split it into 14 pieces like the story of Osiris, spread it all over the world, and this nigga gonna be believing in Allah, and this nigga gonna be believing in Krishna, and this nigga gonna be believing in Buddha, and this nigga gonna be believing in Rama, and I, and all these different Ahs, these God frequencies. When you go to the hospital, it says open your mouth and say Ah, right? But we don't understand frequency, so we're following we're just either following or not following shit that has been stolen from us. I'm a big fan of claiming it all back. That Kabbalah, I want that back. That Wicca, I want that back. That Druidism, give me that back. Hermeticism, give me that back. Oh, Satanism, give me that back. You know, everything. Give it all. Christianity, give me that back. Islam, give me that back. Give me all my shit that y'all took from my mama back, so that I can put the dots together for my own understanding and come up with my own conclusion and say, okay, this is how I'm going to magically use that for me and my people to break the generational curses, right? And this is how it works. So I use part sorcery, high sorcery of a word only kind, and these words are infused into a computer-like algorithmic form. And when read, they invoke and activate the dormant DNA-like codes within our DNA. And people are reporting, and people are, and they're on autopilot. This is not no things you got to do repetitively every day. No, is the money algorithms are the money algorithms. The love sex algorithms are the love sex algorithms. And these algorithms, once read, right, they're sent to you in the email. And once they're read, you literally, that's the only thing you're doing. You're going to receive it. And if for those who, and I'm doing, I always for around Christmas time, I always got the pro bono until January 1st. So you guys can practice the algorithms for free and see how much that they enrich your life with money, because money is not cash, dollars, and coins and numbers on a screen. Money is people. Let's understand why they say time is money and why that equals out to people. When you go into your job, they pay you by the hour, my nigga. The reason why they pay you by hour, because an hour is a measuring unit of energy of time, and they'll give you a receipt called a check for the hours that you spent at the job. If you don't spend no hours at the job, then you won't receive no check or no receipt from the job, okay? And that check represents the time you spent with us, and that time you spent with us earns you a salary. They say time is money. Well, why? Guess what? People are the only ones who can actually pay the debt of time. Why? Because we have an ability called focus, and it takes time to pay attention. Focus is paying attention to something. It takes time to pay attention to that book and read that whole book. It takes time to write that whole spell and write all them algorithms and write all that shit. It takes time to invest into your wife and your husband and your spouse and your daughter and your school and your church and all of the shit you're doing in life. It takes time, and you only get 24 hours in a day. And out of those 24 hours, most of y'all go sleep 6 to 8 to 9. Some of y'all sleep 10 hours. And you feel me? And so that time is even cut even to more, and even shaved off even more. And then most of us are going to wake up and go spend 8 more hours, 8 to 9 to 10 more hours at somebody else's job, right? Giving them all of our time, right? So so on the time scale, how are we showing ourselves that we value ourselves? If it comes to time and what we give our time to. I give my time to this. Now, how much time do I give myself? If everything else getting more time than from you than you would give it to yourself, you are mistreating God. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within. The spirit of the all is within you. And in order to satisfy the spirit of the all, you must do a sacred thing that they say in a song, and that's called me time. And me time is not just any kind of me time. It has to be a caterpillar turning into a butterfly cocoon type of me time. It has to be a cutting all my friends off, cutting all my family off, and only people that really matter is the ones that I'm providing for type of me time. It has to be a going into the monastery, going into the ashram, going into the woods or the jungle, right? And being by myself, going into that prison cell, going into that by myself place, so that I can, number one, submit myself to the highest of energy, of positivity of my life, and start to let that energy begin to show me how to remold myself, because it's already in me. All I gotta do is just ask myself, what do I need to fix? And myself gonna tell me, well, you know you need to fix this. You know, but inside of myself,
Yes.
tell me, yeah, you know you need to fix this, and you know you can do better on this.
Now,
And girl, you know you
I
could have
want
took
to
care of
ask you
that
a
better.
question though.
I want to ask you a question, doctor, because I want people to understand is another reason why I brought you up here is because you have superfood and this is how you better in yourself. And I know Cooley wants to come up, but I want you to be able to speak about your product before we bring Cooley up because I know the fucking session is going to build again. So, and you also offer, really quick, you offer waivers for the jab. Okay.
Yes.
I need them to understand that too.
Vaccine exemption attestation letters. These are these are virtually ironclad. I haven't got one person that came back and say they haven't worked yet, and I've given away hundreds of them. And it's, so the superfood too as well, and it's all because of the superfood. Remember on Popeye, when Popeye used to eat the spinach and they used to give him the strength, right? And y'all forgot about that. Remember Popeye and Oliver, and when Popeye needed the strength, he ran to the spinach. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, Chakra Doctor started with FCA yoga and me activating people's chakras, but I activated so many chakras and healed so many people with FCA yoga that the magical spiritual equivalent had to manifest in a physical product. You can't heal that many souls, and the universal mainframe don't manifest that into a physical equivalent of you healing that many souls. And so miracle food is basically the equivalent, is basically like FCA yoga in a bottle. It is all natural high milligram moringa, all natural high milligram beetroot oil. I meet a lot of healing practitioners. They're like, I never heard of beetroot oil until I met you. I said, I know, I got this shit from the universe. I put a spell on myself. The spell turned me into a genius and gave me the cure for all incurable diseases. I'm sorry. Real shit. No, I'm a 9th grade dropout. I did magic and sorcery on myself. It opened me up to genius, and I created a genius formula that heals incurable disease. So it's high milligram moringa, high milligram beetroot, high milligram CBD with no THC, and high milligram black seed oil. These are the 4 superfoods combined in the miracle food. Okay. And I tell people our body is a machine, our brain is a computer, and you can call it a car, and all cars need oil. Okay. The reason why the car is able to go to and fro because it has oil in the system, creating slickness so that the engine doesn't run into friction and lock up. A lot of us, our only oils that we put in our bodies are the oils from fat foods that we eat from places that never meant us no good in the first place, because our economy is a capitalistic based economy. They don't care about health. They don't care about humanity. They care about dollar bills and what makes numbers run. They don't care actually about, you know, what actually feeds us nutritionally. They'll just throw some shit together and make money. Okay. So, so the one thing I seen that was a big hindrance in, Black people's lives was the number one thing, our health. And they say, so my health is my wealth. I could get $1 billion, but it don't make no sense to have $1 billion if I'm not going to live long enough to spend it to impact the lives and change the world like I intend to do with that money, right? DMX died at 50, Shock G died at 57, Black Rob died at 51, the dude from The Wire died at 50-something, the dude from Black Panther died at 40-something. These young rappers, they dying early. Everybody, these black men and these black women are not even making it to 60. Without needing some type of help from some type of medical system establishment to heal, to treat. They don't even heal you. They treat you. They don't heal you. They treat you.
Right.
Okay. And so, and so the one thing that I wanted to get in, you know, is, and I thank the most honorable, noble, justice, immortal Dr. Sabier the Great. I thank him for educating me and waking me up. I met him when I was working for a temporary service, being a busboy at the New Orleans Convention Center, and his thing was next door. His lecture was next door to the plate for the event I was busing for. And after my event, his lecture was still going on, and it was meet and greet time. And he was so nice, so kind, tall, slender, vibrant. You could just feel the goddess in him, because he loved talking about his mother and his daughter and his wives, and he just, you know, you could just feel God in this man, you know what I mean? And when I heard that there was a way alternatively than the New Orleans way I was taught to eat, you know, fat backs, chicken, hog ball, you know, all the shit, you know the shit, sweet shit. And so, you know, the jambalaya dirt, right? Let me stop talking. But that you know, coming from that background of, you know, all of those foods that doesn't provide true mineral, vitamin, health and nutrition. Elemental, I call mineral and vitamin elemental nutrition. Our bodies are composed of 102 elements. And these elements are what sustain our DNA structures, our DNA systems, our immune system, because our whole body is run off of multiple systems. Our reproductive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system. Everything is a system. A system is an algorithm, people. Okay? A system is an algorithm. It is a set of actions and responses, or a set of causes and effects that takes a pattern. That's an algorithm, okay? And so when he woke me up and cracked, that was the beginning of me not only leaving the streets alone and leaving everything in the streets alone, but that was the beginning of me saying, okay, I finally have a way out. And that was the main thing. It was like, okay, I finally have to have a way out. I was overweight. I was obese. You know what I'm saying? I was 297 pounds, but I'm 6 feet tall. So you're really going to be like, well, you wasn't that big, but nah, man, I didn't feel good in my body. Fuck what you're talking about. If I don't feel good in my body, ain't nothing you can say that's going to make me feel better, except for me telling me, what I need to do. So I took it upon myself to embark upon a journey that was completely opposite of what the way I was taught. I was taught that chicken, fish, beef, pork, and all of the meats, rices, and all of the white things too, like the white rice, the white bread, the white, I call it, Dr. Lalo Africa calling the white poisons and things of that nature. And Dr. Suzal and foods masquerading as drugs. She educated me to a lot because shouts out to the great Queen Mother, Dr. Suzal, for she is the one that truly reintroduced us to the great Grand Holy Mother, as her title and name, in her book Blacked Out Through Whitewash. And she is 100%, an etymologist and sacred feminine goddess and master. And so, Dr. Sebi with her and me watching YouTube videos and, things of that nature, just pumping and psyching myself up. I'm like, man, nigga, fuck that food. I can do that shit. I can do this shit, nigga. You dig? And then next thing you know, so I said, I'm going to start baby stepping and I remove the meats, right? And I just remove one meat at a time. And I became pescatarian. And then I became vegetarian. And I moved to vegan. And then I seen Annette Larkin, the goddess who like almost 80 years old and looked like she's 40. And she's like, raw vegan. And I'm just raw vegan. And I said, oh, bing.
Yeah, she raw vegan.
A light went off. Bing. It was like, oh, that's that shit that they was doing in the Garden of Eden right there. That mother, she's practicing that Garden of Eden shit. So that's why the name of my book in my health regimen is called Eden's Garden, because I take us back to the garden when it comes to cleansing our bodies. And remember, melanin, I told you, melanin is the only element that composes all of the elements, and it is able to turn anything into something great. It is, man, y'all be talking about the poisons in food, Give it to melanin and give melanin some positive commands and watch melanin turn that shit into the most greatest thing that you would ever want to do. Why you think those certain people, they got certain levels of faith for people. They got certain people who believe so much, they'll let a snake bite them, and that snake bite ain't gonna do nothing. Because they believe in what they believe in so much that it overpowers and overrides the system of what the snake trying to do to the system. It's all about computers and systems. And certain systems got firewalls and hacking capabilities that other systems don't. You see what I'm saying? So this is how we are being susceptible to disease. We've lowered our systems, especially that immune system. Remember, take the T off a diet and I got die. That we are what we eat. And the reason why it's called a fast, because when you don't put anything in your body, you don't have any bites. Remember, you're taking a bite. Bit. That's data. You are what you eat. You're taking a bite. That bite then travels down your information superhighway called the esophagus and lands into your hard drive, where it calls your stomach, and your heart and your stomach takes that and melts it down into a liquid data processing that spreads throughout your body and communicates to your cells. It is literally computer programming genetic magic. Okay, and you don't know, this honey bun is about to turn into disodium glutamate liquid when my stomach acids get their hand on it. You see what I'm saying? You're not about to say, oh, this Dorito is about to turn into all of these ingredients on the back of the Dorito bag when it touches my stomach. You're just seeing something that, because remember, we eat for taste. We're not eating for health, right? And so when you're eating for taste, you're bound to folly. You're bound to folly because they got a whole bunch of poisonous shit that tastes great. Okay, so if you're eating for taste, you're bound to be fucking up when it comes to diet. And so when I created Miracle Food, I number one, I copied off of Annette Larkin with applying an only raw vegan dietary regimen while on Miracle Food, right? So that's one component, that raw vegan lifestyle. Man, I only sleep. Man, listen, bro, that raw vegan lifestyle only got me sleeping about 4 hours a day, bro, and that's all I need. And I be up before everybody. I go to sleep after everybody. Man, you know, all I do is need to drink me some juice or drink me a smoothie, and my stomach be feeling like I'm full as fuck. Like, y'all gotta realize it's really the mind over matter, and we have the ability to put the mind over the matter. And this is why they called it the fruit of the gods. And this is why, you know, it was a fruit in the Garden of Eden that started this whole shit, right? And they call, you know, knowledge. Why would they call knowledge, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, a fruit? Right? Because they're letting you know where the data lies at, where the true data lies at from them trees. Them trees communicate to you, and they communicate to you through the fruit. And you got to partake into the fruit to get this data and this information from the trees. And this is how you get activating light codes. But we don't even fuck with the trees like that. The trees are our next of kin. They are our brothers and sisters like this. They are the closest of kin to us than any creature on the face of the planet, and we don't show them no love. You feel what I'm saying? So this is Earth Magic 101. You feel me? Like, nigga, the tree people, nigga, the stone people. So is that water? Or is that a God named water? Is that a sky, or is that a God named sky, nigga? You gotta understand. Is that an earth, or is that a fucking elemental goddess named Earth? If I take the H off of heart and I put it at the end of heart, I got the word Earth. This is how I know where my heart comes from. See, we gotta just analyze this matrix we in. And remember, matriarch. Matrix is a womb. There's nothing wrong with the matrix, nigga. You're in the womb, learning and being challenged to grow. Remember, growth happens in the womb. The baby goes through all kind of growth stages in the womb. This is why you're in the matrix, because you are incarnated in here to go through growth stages. But a lot of us don't consider a big part of our growth stages of what we put dietarily in our mouth and in our body, because we believe when the white man augmented the Bible talking about something, not what goes in the man's mouth that defiles it, but what comes out. Nigga, you better don't believe that. Don't believe all the lies of Christianity now, too. Now you got to learn how to have a spirit of discernment.
Where can they find your product? Where can they get the superfood from?
Chakradoctor.org.
Chakradoctor.com.
Not com. Chakradoctor.org. You feel me? Chakradoctor.org. And I got Miracle Food Platinum.
Is doctor spelled out?
Yeah, just right here, like Chakra Doctor. You got right here, CHAKRADOCTOR.org. And it is a wonderful, wonderful. I call it an intracellular chelation cleansing formula, like Dr. Sebi taught me how to do. And I do it all the way different from Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi don't use oils. He uses mostly capsules, and he uses mostly ointments, capsules, and herbs. I use oil and I use tea. I combine oil with tea. They got 9 different herbs in the tea. It's called Miracle Tea. And it's Ring Your Sign, Damiana. You have passion flower. You have moringa, you have baldo, bronco tea, canalita, so many antioxidant. I've healed so many kidney stones, gallstones, liver failures with Miracle Tea alone.
It almost sounds like a little bit of my detox tea. I love it.
Man, you're gonna love it. It tastes like you're gonna love it. It tastes like Lipton. It tastes like Lipton tea. You add your agave. You put it makes a gallon. It's a big tea bag. It makes a gallon. Put your whole tea bag into a gallon pot of water. You boil it for about 30 minutes to an hour. Let it sit for another 30, 20 minutes. Pour it in your container. Put you about 11, 12 ounces of agave in that joint. And it's kid tested. I tested it on children. They're like, "Oh, I want some more Kool-Aid." Nah, it's that antioxidant Kool-Aid, nigga. It's that Kool-Aid, nigga. You feel me? So,
Now, doctor, I want to just really quickly. This is Cooley.
Cooley,
I already know you're affiliated.
I love you, my brother.
Hey, love, my brother. Hey, man, it's crazy how the universe works, because I fell it. You fell in my algorithm on YouTube through DMTV. Big Jew.
Big Jew, my nigga. You already know. Me and him going live Thursday.
Yeah, so and then it was just crazy. I do a podcast myself, and I wanted to interview you, and I had interviewed Queen, and it's crazy how, like, I watched her on YouTube, and me and my homeboy, we got her down here. Then now it's like it's through her platform with you, bro. And
the algorithm does not lie, man.
Man. It's crazy how it works. Hey, man, I just
listen. And when you do before you start, And when y'all do the algorithm, this is the one thing I want y'all to pay attention for when y'all do the algorithm. Watch how, especially because y'all powerful magicians, right? Watch how major earthly events happen right during, right before, right after you do the algorithms. Like that shit that I'm telling you, while that shit was going on with that 9-city tornado, that 9-state tornado, right? We were on live doing the algorithms.
Damn.
It's literally like, okay, no, man, the matrix motherboard responds to our computer, or to our computer outcries, if you will. You feel me? But sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, and it's like tapping into that energy too that's passing through that amplify the work that you doing as well too. So I most
we all the Avengers. I don't like to really say the Avengers because I resonate more with that with the Defenders. Y'all are familiar with the Defenders?
I know about the Defenders.
That's Luke Cage, Jessica Jones,
Iron Fist. Yeah,
you feel me? The Daredevil, and them right there, and they're the Defenders. They're the Defenders, not the Avengers. Because you know the Avengers, if you look at all of the characters of the Avengers, they all got their powers on some weird, sick, twisted. Like Tony Stark creates weapons that destroy the Earth so he can create another weapon that destroys some more shit to fight his weapon. Like, that ain't no superhero shit, nigga. You just trying to clean up a mess. The Hulk gets his power by experimenting against Mother Nature to try to do some shit that Mother Nature don't provide for, and turn into some old big green monster thing. Okay. You know, when you look at all of the look at all of the Avenger characters and how they came into their powers, and majority of them came into their powers on some shady shit. And then when you look at the last Avengers, right, and Infinity Wars, when they all got raptured up, only the good ones got raptured up. The Black Panther, Spider-Man, the other ones who got their powers on some weird shit got left behind. And people didn't get it. Like on Harry Potter, there's two sides to the Illuminati, like I was explaining last night. You know what I'm saying? There's the light side and the dark side. That's what the black and white checkerboard means. You feel me? There are benevolent forces that are allowing malevolent forces to challenge humanity to a higher, greater, benevolent, greater good, higher self. So I'm ready, Cooley. Let's get it popping, man.
It's crazy that you said that. You circle back to the Masonry stuff, and then, like you said, like the Old Testament and New Testament represent the left hand and the right hand of magic. That's kind of why I stopped fucking with that Mason shit, because I was trying to go into Masonry myself, and then I was at that spot.
They only got, and they try to trick you and make you think they got 33 degrees. No, nigga, that's just that's the baby degrees, nigga. They got they got they got hundreds of degrees in Freemasonry. It's crazy how they be lying to people.
Yeah, just like that. And then they want you. They got a big thing about the Book of Esther, and I couldn't break that shit down. So I had y'all like, and then I was doing YouTube study as well as going. So I was just doing more YouTube studies than they studied. I'm like, man, this ain't shit. I ain't fucking with it. But let me jump in my first question for you, like, because, you know, it's a lot of people that like just now jumping into this frequency. You know, some have been in this frequency, some haven't. So for the ones that are just now, you know, tuning into this frequency, could you share with them like some of your obstacles? Like, what was some of the hardest obstacles you had to get over before you got to this phase now?
The hardest obstacles was getting over the fact that you're going to have to go above and beyond the call of duty to impress black people. And that's just a pill you got to swallow. If you're not willing to go, if you're not willing to swallow that pill, don't say you won't do anything for black folk. We are hurt, damaged, broken, and we need healing. And hurt people. And anytime you're trying to do something for black people trying to do something for black people, we automatically have a shield and a wall up that the person who is trying to heal, the black person who is trying to heal black person is going to have a way super tough skin so that they don't give up on us and sell out like the young pharaohs and the Dr. Umars and the distractions of the world. You know, and so the one thing the one thing that's the number one thing. And the one thing I used to do that, the one mechanism I used to do that was I used black people's own programming against them. I got Indians, whites, Hispanics, and Asians to vouch for me before and then black people started saying, nah, that's our nigga. Right? And you know how a baby do. No, that's my, a baby will do that. A baby will do that to their mom and their daddy. And I move, mama, that's my daddy. You tripping, right? That's what happens when you get to a certain level with black folks. They be like, nigga, we created that. That's us right there, right? We take pride in that. That's us right there. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing something that was not only going to, teach my people on some verbal rhetoric, but no, I wanted to actually give them something that they can physically call their own without having to join Allah and the Nation of Islam, or without having to become a Moor, or without having to ascribe to a certain political or religious affiliation. No, they could just get it just because you just look like me and you are a native indigenous person of this earth, this universe, this galaxy, and all of the spiritual dimensional worlds. And so, believe it or not, y'all, like, this is the greatest time in the world to be who you are right now, right? Everybody in the world so fake. People who are themselves are the creme de la creme of the movers, and who are going to be the movers and innovators and shakers, who's going to inherit this earth, because they said the meek shall inherit the earth, and so the last shall be first and the first shall be last. And so we about to inherit a big, big kingdom, and y'all will want to be equipped to handle the windfall of the transference of power, because for some reason everybody is in this doomsday scenario, and that's what they want you to think. But in actuality, they can't even put off that doomsday scenario even if they wanted to. Okay, the judgment has already been cast. They've already been found guilty. Why you think rings are around Saturn? Saturn is not a planet, nigga. That's a jail cell, my nigga.
It's a jail cell, yeah.
That's a jail cell, my nigga. So remember. So
and that's why they worship it too, as well. If you they do a lot of Saturn worship. Yep.
That's like Larry Hoover calling shots from jail.
Yep.
That's like a kingpin calling shots from jail. All right. And so, this is why he's called the Lord of the Rings. He is a dwarf star, just like David I told you in the book. It showed you in the book. You know what I'm saying? And when you see all of the dwarf star Saturn worship in our mainstream evil societies today, then you see, okay, this is wait a minute, that Star Wars shit is really true. When stars war, because they're really conscious and they're really feeling, breathing, living, thinking, and dancing. This is why it's called Dancing with the Stars. Y'all think the sun is just a son of them. That's a living, breathing, feeling, thinking, conscious God up there, giving. And look, his wife is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. Then they got the asteroid belt that separate who come next. The prison system. The prison system is who? Saturn. Who's Saturn's wives though? Who's Saturn's wives that got caught up? Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
Yeah. They don't even talk about Pluto no more.
and the moon. Okay, so Saturn has his wives, and Ra has his wife. They always told you about these two brothers that were sons of this mother. That one of them had your best interest at heart in the terms of bringing you into the light, and one of them always sought to keep you as a slave in the darkness. Henceforth, the story of Prometheus giving fire to the humans in spite of Zeus the gods. And this is a story. This is a stolen African or stolen Native American or whatever you like to call black story, right? And so when you analyze, it's like, oh, okay, that shit makes so much sense now. Like, all right, my nigga, okay, nigga, like, okay, let me get this back. Well, give me that Kabbalah back, and give me that Church of Scientology back, because that's mine. And give me that Christian cross back, because that's mine. And give me your secret society back, because y'all stole that from me and created your own. Okay, and so and give me all my shit back. I need it back. Why? Because I'm about to take over. And see the shit that we remember. I heard her saying, "Yeah, man, I'm dismantling shit. I'm tearing shit up." And that's the business. When you're tilling the earth, you're tearing the earth up. You're not smoothing that motherfucker out. You're tearing it up so you can plant you some seeds. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that's the one thing when it comes to our people, man. We just have to have a tough skin, and love is the toughest skin. Unconditional love is the toughest skin, man. And use innovative and creative ways to show your people that you love yourself, so that they can see that you love them. See, my people see that I love me, so they know that the love that I be showing me, it's not hard to fathom that shit won't spill out of his cup and onto me. You see what I'm saying? So And everybody know, you know, no matter who and where I go, I'm unapologetically a nigga. You feel me? Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. I'm unapologetically black. I'm unapologetically source. I'm unapologetically sorcery. I'm unapologetically fucking natural, holistic health and healing. And I'm unapologetically, man, I'm unapologetically everything. The only thing you can't call me is a pedo, nigga. Or no necrophiliac or no Satanist or no bullshit that's doing this bullshit out here. You feel me? So that's how me and Dwayne hooked up, man. I was looking for people and was like, yo, I see you be talking about that Illuminati shit. Let me show you the real Illuminati, nigga. Let me give you these algorithms. And that's when he was at 19,000 followers. Now he had 30,000 in less than 6 months. See, the algorithms don't play no games.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't play no games. Look, he told you about the algorithms?
No. But I just know because my own rabbit holes I chase down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand.
The movie Space Jams talks about them.
I do a lot of like movie decodes. You know what I'm saying?
So Space Jam talks about these algorithms that I'm talking about. No, I actually got the algorithmic keys. I've actually been challenged by the highest members of Illuminati wizardry, and they failed. Okay, I've tackled and plucked their greatest of magical minds in this battle. Now they're just watching me, just looking in awe. Now they're like, okay, what this nigga gonna do next? Yeah. Right? And that's what we about to do next. We about to team up with a whole gang of motherfuckers just like me. And we about to exchange and trade some more fucking magics, nigga. And we about to crossbreed and become some more hybrid shit. Voltron, motherfucking, you know that Voltron fucking Power Rangers shit. Nigga,
big facts. We working on breaking the algorithm just like how they show you in the movie. Because if we refer back to that movie, like his son, LeBron James' son in that movie, he was stuck in the algorithm, and that's an example of how they try to keep you in the loop. You know, because even now, if you look at
the rings of Saturn, that's the loop.
The rings, the loop, it's just funny how they show you in multiple different ways. Another thing I wanted to touch back on when you was talking about the stars. They do it at the like at your concerts too, when they tell you to light your phones up, and you do that shit. That's just a form of esoteric magic right there, them energy harvesting from you at that moment too as well.
Because you know the energy is hard. The energy shall always be harvested from the ignorant. The Bible says in Hosea 4:6 that my people perish because they lack knowledge, not because they got too much of it. You see? So when you are a true Christ or Christ I am, then you will be able to embody the principles and no longer just preach them. See, this is why preachers are failing in a lot of parts of life, because preachers are only preaching the data, but they don't have the actual physical, magical prowess to exhibit and show you in real time the fruits of the data. They only could preach you and the Lord said this. No, nigga, you the Lord. Now what you saying? What you gonna go do? You see?
Let me ask you this. I want to hear your perspective on this, bro. Because I got a lot of homies. Like I grew up in the church, but I broke free from that curse, the spell that they was casting on us with that. But it's a lot of people. It's hard for them to break free from it, especially now. Like, hold on, let me get the question.
I got you. I already know.
Especially now, you see how we refer to scripture so they can correlate it, but them being Christian, like still stuck with the blinders, be like, well, you say you talking from the Bible. So what is something that you can give a perspective? Like, what's a perspective you can give those people that's still battling that Christianity, especially when we using gems from the Bible to give correlation and stuff?
Well, Christians have to accept them. Christians have to accept the fact that they're magicians and witchcraft practitioners, knowingly or unknowingly. And they have to accept the fact that the Bible is sorcery and a grimoire, and that if you believe in an invisible God with mythological creatures in your book, then my brother, my sister, you are practicing magic. Okay, that is some magical shit. What is the difference between you believing in an invisible God and you believing in the invisible gods over here? Huh? What's the difference? Tell me.
One leaving powerless.
What's the difference between Moses going burn an offering and send a burnt offering to the Lord over here, and me going burn an offering to the ancestors over here? What's the difference? We both burning some offerings, right? All right. When I go to the Catholic Church or the Baptist Church or the Methodist Church, I see candles all around that motherfucker. I see candles when I go to the motherfucking. I see candles when I go to the masjid. right? I see candles when I go to the fucking Judaist temple, okay? And you see the magical rhetoric in every single religious establishment you go, but we're still calling them religions and not calling them for what they are, magical cults. And this is where, and this is where we magicians have to be educated enough, because we have to be educated enough to give them Christianity from the magical sorcery aspect, and show them, my nigga, my brother, you're practicing magic, my brother. Nigga, you believe in an invisible being that nobody could see and feel but you. And you pray to this being so that this being could give you things in life and manifest them for you. And then you go to a sacred house where this being's energy is said to dwell, and you praise the memorabilia of this being.
And practice cannibalism.
And remember, we're gonna drink
rituals.
We're gonna drink. We're gonna practice rituals, and we're gonna drink symbolic blood, and we're gonna eat symbolic flesh, because we're just following a program. We're not saying, wait a minute, this is a magical ritual. But when you show them, wait a minute, look at the magic in this. If I read the Bible, I show you all of the crystals in the Bible are in the same crystals in witchcraft. You go look at the incense and the sage. They brought him frankincense and myrrh when the Christ child was born. Christ was a magician. He learned his magic in Egypt. Moses learned his magic in Egypt. Moses learned his magic in Egypt. Christ learned his magic in Egypt. Joseph learned his magic in Egypt with you remember he had the one with the 12 robes. Remember the 12 stripes, 12 colors on the robe. That was the 12 signs of the zodiac. The Bible is a zodiological book. But if you keep on analyzing it from a person's perspective, you'll never analyze that this book is a metaphorical, allegorical book of the heavens. This is why Jesus is called the Son of Man and the Son of God. Because remember, that represents the humanity. We are sons of God, meaning we got our chakras and our light from the sun, right? And then we're son of man, or womb man, son of the mother, right? And this is our earth body heritage, right? So when I talk to Christians, I don't talk to them from a perspective as if the Bible was a real live historical book and these beings actually existed. Like you're not about to, I'm about to crush that belief right here. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. The Bible says it itself that this shit never existed. The Bible says this shit never existed. I'm just gonna go in your book and show you what 2 Timothy 2:15 says. Study to show thyself approved. You don't study this book, you won't get the magic out of this book. And the one thing I teach Christians how to do is how to not only rely on the book. The book is called Bible, right? Basic instructions before leaving Earth, but they never said this motherfucker was advanced instructions before leaving Earth. Okay, so if you want to get higher into Bible knowledge, you got to go into the lost books of the Bible, and that's where your whole fucking system gonna get crushed when you go to the Book of Enoch and you go on to the now they talking about aliens and shit, and now they talking about magic and shit. Now they talking about go read the book of Mary, man. How the story of the garden is reversed, and how God is the evil one and the serpent is the good one.
I thought that was the apocalypse of Adam.
Yeah, the apocalypse of Adam. Mary talk about how it was reversed, how Christ was really a gangster and really running shit. You know what I mean? And he switched it to make it look like he was just a Rudy Poo ass nigga that got nailed to a cross. Right? So it's a whole bunch of plagiarism going on. They spliced the book from the Sumerian tablets. They spiced the Bible from the Book of the Dead. Right? They spliced the Bible from the Atlantean tablets, and they spliced the Bible from a lot of the from a lot of the writings in the in the old Egyptian hieroglyphs, like all of those stories in the Egyptian hieroglyphs. They spliced it all together, and they said 66 degrees. 33 gonna be for the left hand, 33 gonna be for the right hand. We're gonna give it to these niggas, and if these niggas study to show they self-approved, they're gonna end up with the righteous. They're gonna end up receiving the righteous portions of the magic of the Bible. If these niggas are stupid enough to believe, slaves obey your master, then these niggas is gonna receive the motherfucking fucked up part of the Bible. And this is a dualistic book, okay? And so, and they show you, that's why it looks like a grimoire, it feels like a grimoire, they got the pages like a grimoire, this motherfucker telling stories, and there once was a man in the land of Uz. What the fuck? This is a fucking grimoire, okay? So, any book that got talking donkeys, and whales that swallow you and you don't die, you are not going to get me to believe that that book is not on some Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings type shit. I can see that in Lord of the Rings, trees alive, and trees just come alive and just started walking and shit, right?
That's a fact. Yeah.
So how the fuck if I can see the same thing in the Harry Potter movie that I see in the Bible, how the fuck am I going to separate the two? I got to call them for what they are. There are magical depictions of metaphysical realities that happens in our systems, within our systems. Man, listen, I tell people, there's never been a time where I met an angel, demon, dragon, or jinn that didn't look like a human. They all come in these human meat suits. They all have their own different ways of interacting, and they all have their own missions in these meat suits, living amongst us as humans, testing us. I said, is that a bird talking to you, or was that Venus manifesting as a bird to see if you treat nature right?
Yep. Facts.
Yeah, man. So once it's time to give these guys their power, then we completely start getting human. Remember, once we start saying God is everywhere, and that everywhere includes the devil. Now they start cognitive dissonance. Start getting, well, how you gonna call God omnipotent? How you gonna call God
exactly Alpha and Omega?
How you gonna call God all knowing? So if he all knowing, he didn't know that the devil was gonna do what he did before he did it. So he ain't all knowing, or either which one it is.
Yeah.
That part.
When he was walking through the garden and act like he didn't know what Adam and Eve was at, was he omnipresent then when he had to act
fucking with y'all? Yeah, like what the fuck? Even back to the book of Job, like you said, they had a whole debate. Like, so you ain't tell me bet. You ain't tell me your boy. You ain't know your boy was about to come to the room and hit you with this.
That's not an enemy versus an enemy. Think about it. If your enemy walked into your house right now with your homies, what's the first thing you gonna tell your homies? What y'all doing? Got these bitch ass niggas with you. Y'all gotta
get with the ops.
Y'all with the ops. All y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
This nigga just come up with the sons of God presenting themselves, and God was like, yeah, what you think about that nigga Job, man? Like he was just his partner. Like, what you think?
Straight up.
Think about that nigga Job. You think that nigga really fucking with me? I gave that nigga 7,000 sheep and 3,000 asses, and nigga. You think that really fucking with me? And then the devil hit him. Man, I don't fuck with you, son. That nigga only fuck with you.
I bet he won't. I bet he denounce you. I bet he won't.
Yeah, I bet
he ain't fucking with you no more.
I bet that nigga don't fuck with you no more, bitch, because that nigga Job a bitch ass nigga. That nigga's a bitch ass nigga. The only reason why he fuck with you, nigga, because you gave him all that shit, nigga. What? All that shit with him, that nigga will fucking curse you, nigga.
What that say about your God ego? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. What was his father's name in the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2?
It was Ego or something like that.
His daddy's name was Ego.
Yeah.
And his whole purpose was to turn everybody into him.
Yeah. Right there.
Man, that was deep. That was a jewel.
Yeah. The powers that be do not lie to you. I keep telling you guys, trillionaires don't pay billionaires to pay puppet millionaires to entertain you because you just entertainable. No, my nigga. A lot of fucking time and attention goes into those movies because they want your time and attention, my nigga. And if they got your time and attention, that means that's the less time you'll spend inside working on yourself. If they got your time and attention, that means that's the less time that they will spend, that you will spend focusing on who you can be. Right? Because you're focusing all your time and attention on what they're distracting you with. The name of the game is called distraction. Who believes?
Yep.
I teach people who believe that life is a video game.
I do.
You do?
Oh, it's very much virtual.
I feel like
I can prove that life is a video game beyond shadow of a doubt. You ready?
Absolutely. It's virtual. Yeah.
It's holographic first and foremost, right? It's holographic and virtual, meaning the virtues. Yes, you got it. Patience is a virtue, so it's definitely virtual. But when you're talking about video game, no, an actual video game that you
simulation,
an actual simulation like The Sims, like a real live video game, not right. And I'm gonna show you how. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Name one thing in life that they ain't got a game for.
Right. Come through. See? Simulation. That's all I be saying.
They call it the hunting game, the hunger games, the pimp game, the dope game, the coke game, the hustle game.
Squid games.
The squid games. When you go out and you're hunting a deer, they call that hunting game, right? when you quit playing games with my heart.
Surviving the game.
You're surviving the game. You're playing games with my mind. Is all in the game of life. The game of the all kind of games, right?
Yes.
And they show you, so they show you the gamma rays right there, the games. They show you the gammas right there. See, they show you the game. So where do these little games get their format from? If the crying games, right? Yeah, the Truman Show, right? But where do these games, these little bitty games in life, get their gaming format from? Well, they only can get it from the one culprit that can be blamed, and that's life herself.
Yes.
Because life is the ultimate game. But how many people do you actually think wake up in the morning with the fucking do 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 in their head going do 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 do? No, they ain't doing that. They ain't playing life like it's the game that it's supposed to be played. They waking up stressing. Oh Lord, what I gonna do about this? What I gonna do about that? And now guess what? Now the game beating you, but before me, but keep proving that's the game. So life is the ultimate game that these games are getting their format from. Another thing that shows you that life is a game. All games give you multiple chances to play it. Henceforth, reincarnation.
Yes. Come on.
All games give you multiple chances to play it. You die, you got to come back because you didn't learn your lesson. You got to come back. Groundhog Day. Come on now.
Groundhog Day.
I remember when I got my Akashic records read. They said, "Oh no, you reliving the
same day."
They told me you reliving the life because you failed this same life. You failed it last life, and you got to relive it again." And I'm like, "Oh, what I did wrong?" Yeah, you let this and that and the third woo bop de wop bop. Oh shit, okay, and I'm not doing that now. That's why I'm at where I'm at. See. Yeah. I listened to the Queen Goddess when she was giving me what she was giving me. You feel me? Even though me and her beliefs might not align perfectly, nigga, she had a gift. I respected and I honored her gift, and I received what the Great Mother gave me through her, because that's what the all is. All is everything. So you feel me? Yeah. So we got multiple chances to play it. Yeah. Right. Then the big the big thing that really gets you about this game and shows you that, okay, no, this shit really is a game. Because in everything in life, you either got to win at it or you got to lose at it. Like a game. You're either going to win the job or you're going to lose the job. You're either going to win a good relationship or lose a good relationship. See, everything is about losing and winning, right? Or what you call virtues, the virtuals, right? So it keeps showing you this unique game that we're playing. And then the last thing that shows you that, hey, we are not these bodies.
Oh, I was waiting for you to stop.
The number one thing is the characters, our characters. Remember, what's your zodiac sign?
Mine's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer.
All right. So he has incarnated into the Cancer character, sun sign, to play his game. I've incarnated as the Aries character to play my game. And she's incarnated into the Scorpio character to play her game. Scorpio comes with tests and challenges. Cancer comes with tests and challenges. Why? So look, Scorpio comes with the tests and challenges of Mars and Pluto. Scorpio comes with the tests and challenges of the Scorpion. Scorpio comes with the tests and challenges of being of the fixed, because it's a fixed symbol, tests and challenges. Scorpio comes with the tests and challenges of water. See, and Scorpio comes with the tests and challenges of the house of Scorpio. What's the house of Scorpio? Death and rebirth. Scorpio comes Scorpio comes with the tests and challenges of desire, because it is also the house of desire, or the key word to open up the constellation of Scorpio is I desire. Okay, so this is now add that with your moon, your rising, and all of your Mercury, Venus, or all of the other ones, and now you got a clusterfuck of tests. Wait a minute, then add that with your number, then add that with your life pad number and your soul pad number and all these other numbers that they got, and now you got some more shit. All right, then add that with your generational cursing, your individual. I mean, remember, because we are the generational curses that we're here to break. Remember, so your generational curses that you're here to break, and then don't talk about your genetics and the family that you come up under, right? And all of these equal out into a perfect simulation to teach you how to pass the Scorpio path, and so on and so forth with the Cancer, and so on. So the majority of your bulk of your energy and the people and the majority of the council, or the bulk of the councils that you answer to, are the councils within the constellation of Scorpio. Who is the representative of the constellation of Scorpio? Mars and Pluto. Okay. These are the representatives, are the ambassadors for the constellation of Scorpio. Who's the ambassador for the constellation of Aries? Up, there go Mars again. You rearrange the word Mars and you got rams. Who Aries the ram. Okay. Who is Scorpio's mate on the zodiac? Do you know that, Queen Goddess? Who is Scorpio's mate?
I don't.
Scorpio's mate. Scorpio's mate on the zodiac is who? Taurus.
Oh.
You got six.
Taurus?
Remember, so let's go down the zodiac. You go down the
That's
zodiac.
my daughter. My daughter's a Taurus. Okay.
Yeah, remember that's your mate on the zodiac. Remember, so you got your first six, and they go in a computer algorithmic order. You got Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Right? Now let's look at the order. Cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. Aries, cardinal, Taurus, fixed, Gemini, mutable. Cancer, cardinal, Leo, fixed, Virgo, mutable. See how? It's an order. Then it's also an order of element. Fire, earth, air, water, fire, earth. See? Right? And that's your first six. Right? And then you got their what one might call their mates or their opposites. Right? So Aries cardinal opposite is Libra. Right? Taurus's fixed opposite is Scorpio. Gemini's fixed opposite is Sagittarius. Cancer's fixed opposite is Capricorn. Leo's fixed opposite is Aquarius. And Virgo's fixed opposite is Pisces. And if you notice, all of their opposites, they're all the same mode. Virgo and Pisces are mutable. Cancer and Capricorn are cardinal. Gemini and Sagittarius are mutable. See? Taurus and Scorpio are fixed. And they see, and one feeds the other. Look, Scorpio is water, Taurus is earth. Water feeds earth. Aries is fire, Libra is air. Air feeds fire. So they're all complementary opposites. Because duality, air is opposite of fire, but it complements it through the feeding. Right? Water is opposite of earth, but they complement through the feedings. Right? So this is in order to understand true high sorcery, you have to master the zodiac. Because this is the heavens, and the Bible says on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? So we have to analyze the perspective that, hey, wait a minute, this book of the Bible goes at a higher level of existence, and that existence is the zodiac. When you're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, you're talking about the 12 signs of the zodiac. When you're talking about the 12 spies of Moses, 12 tribes of the zodiac. 12 disciples of Jesus, 12 tribes of the zodiac. 12 sons of Ishmael, 12 tribes of the zodiac. Okay? This is why you got 12 months in a year for 12 signs of the zodiac. This is why you got 12 on your clock for the 12 signs of the zodiac. Men lie, women lie, but the magic don't lie. So we have to analyze that. We've been looking at the book, the Bible and the Quran from the wrong aspect, because even the Quran acknowledges the zodiac with a surah about the zodiac. Okay? So once we break out of, there's a difference between magic and religion, then we're going to start seeing some sports. Because you got to realize there's no difference between magic and religion. They're both believing in something invisible to bring them something physical. Any questions?
None.
This was powerful build right here.
Yeah, and
I
like
don't want to have to cut this, y'all, but I got clients.
Yes,
I got to get back to work. I got clients.
Handle your business. Handle your business, man. Me and Cooley can keep going. Shit, we can keep.
I got one more. I actually got one more question I wanted to ask him though.
We'll keep your views popping.
I just wanted to know so it'll be out there, because some people might be stuck in the cycle. Cause I heard you say earlier, like you was in New Orleans for a while, and then you knew you was like trapped there. You know what I'm saying? You finding love free. Like, what are some signs? What were some indicators? What was it in you? That voice you heard, it was just like, okay, you know, I just need to just break free from this, because somebody else may need to hear that, you know what I'm saying, and break from a cycle that they're in currently.
Yeah, man. The first thing that is like, look at what have you produced here.
Mm-hmm.
What have you produced that is of a higher calling of what you want to do in life here? And it was like nothing. All of my bad, all of my trial and errors were here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so, you know, when I looked at the track record, it's like, okay, wait a minute, no, I gotta go. You gotta start fresh. You gotta reinvent yourself, because the reason why a prophet or a person is never revered in their hometown, because your hometown got to see you fuck up. Your hometown got to see you take that L. Your hometown got to see you when you was nobody. And even though you done turned into somebody, they still gonna see you as that nobody that you were before you turned into somebody. You feel me? So in order for you to truly, truly gain a foothold, you're gonna have to go somewhere else and impress the people. Then you're gonna really see who you are in the eyes of others, because they don't know you. So if they start saying the same shit that the people from your hometown were talking about, now you know what to fix. You feel me? But if they're saying shit different from the people in your hometown, then now you know they was just hating. You see, so I knew my hometown was hating on me, because, you know, it was so many things. It was so many ways that they used me up. And remember, your hometown. This is another reason why you got to escape your hometown, because they always use you up and act like you owe them something. You see, your hometown always use you up and act like you know them something. So in order to really satisfy your hometown, you actually got to leave your hometown to become successful and come back to your hometown and say, ha ha, look what I've done. Do you want something? I love you. Here you go. Right. And that's the way and that's the way you really truly become, you know, change the place where you come from. You can't change the place where you come from by living in the place where you come from, because the place where you come from is the reason why you went through all of the hardships to get where you are today anyway. So you got to go somewhere and display that ability and show where you come from did for you, so that other people can gain a lesson of where you come from. And then you become successful in other places. And then people from where you from start saying, girl, you heard Queen? She got woo going on. Girl, she sure did say when she moved from here, she was going to do that. She sure did say when she leave from here, she was going to do that. She always been the one that was going to be the most likely to succeed from moving from here. It's just a feeling that you have that says, I got to go. Follow your inner compass. If your inner compass say you got to go, start rolling the dice, start scrying, start seeking out tarot cards, start seeking out voodoo bones and tea leaves, start seeking out psychics and channelers, start seeking out everybody, get a second, third, fourth, and 35th opinion until you get to the right answer. And when you get to the right answer, just go. Don't wait for the right moment, because there'll never be the right moment. There's always be something that need to be taken care of, but you got to go. You got to go, and go somewhere where they got a lot of people. Stop going to these small places with all the competition, and go somewhere where they got a lot of people where you can just really be to yourself and ain't nobody worrying about you, because they got too many people to be worrying about you. And you can really build yourself and really show if you really worth something, because can you impress millions of people? Let's see.
Right. Yeah.
Cooley. Man, you gotta get my information, man. Queen, give Cooley my information so being able
we can tap in, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro, for real.
Absolutely.
Y'all gotta come on.
I hope you can come back for real.
Man, I want to come back here, and y'all definitely gotta come. Me, you, Dwayne McClain, everybody. Me, you, Crumb TV, Dwayne McClain, everybody. Yeah. We about to get a big build on, man. You know, Crumb activated. I activated Crumb Chakras, and I'm sponsoring Crumb too now. I just acquired Crumb sponsor endorsement. You feel me? I'm glad I'm about to have the Queen on board. You feel me? With the Miracle Food Challenge, you know what I'm saying, man? And I'm just building that. I'm building that black wealth portfolio, because I'm telling you, when that shit, when the algorithm crack and that shit go, oh shit, he's the first black this or that. I'm already gonna have a well-built machine. You think I'm gonna stop fucking with the people? No, I'm gonna keep fucking with the people that was already there when it blew, so that way the system just get bigger. The system just get bigger. You know, that's why they were talking about no niggas. Stick the formula that help you blow up, and keep on recreating that formula. Stop. You know, sometimes it's not always good to try something new. You feel me? It's only good to try something new when the same old thing ain't working for you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
That's
man.
why
So
they say if
And
it ain't
so,
broke, don't fix it. But if it is broken, shit, what you gonna do? Keep fucking
shit.
with some broken
If it ain't
tools?
broke,
Like
fuck no.
what
If it
the
ain't
fuck?
broke, don't fix it. But if it is
now,
broke, you gotta
doctor,
make that bitch move.
Mhm.
doctor, they can find your products right here, right, on the chakradoctor.org,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they asking again.
Chakradoctor.org.
So all your products, they can find anything from you, your
Yeah, they can
books and
find
everything, because they're
anything.
inquiring about it.
Yep, everything. They can find everything at chakradoctor.org. Miracle Food is literally Jesus in the bottle, man. You know, Jesus' main ministry was healing people, and that's why I came. You know, I wanted to embody the Christ principles and the Christ consciousness and actually heal people. You know what I mean? So it's a wonderful chance to be actually healing
Love it.
people. You know what I mean?
Hey
So
man, it
Love it.
was an honor to speak with you, man, and to build with you. Like a lot of stuff that you speak about, like I say it, but you articulate it way better than me. You feel me?
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
And Queen, I really do thank you for allowing me to jump on with y'all, man. For real, like it was an
Man.
honor.
No,
Oh,
gratitude
we're
for
gonna do
coming
this
up,
some more.
Cooley. You know,
We
I
about to
always
do this some
Most
more.
appreciate it.
definitely, most
It's
definitely.
only the
Absolutely.
beginning. It's
All
only
right,
the
y'all.
beginning,
Absolutely.
man.
Looking forward to even coming aboard with the endorsement. I fucks with it. I'm
We
so
definitely
impressed by
gonna
both
grab
of you.
some.
Kings, I'm so appreciative for both of y'all coming up on my platform and showing some love and giving this knowledge, because they was fucking with it, and I love it, and I love it. And I can't wait to do it again. I show gratitude for everybody for coming aboard and watching this program and receiving the knowledge that they came through to drop. And so we'll do it again. I can't wait to come to your platform as well. And again,
Yes.
this has been that, and that's
It's
been
been
this.
wonderful.
And peace to it all.
Peace to it all.
All right.
Already.
Chakradoctor.org. And we'll do it again.